I had someone reach out the other day who was brand new, really wanting to get into the coaching business and really just didn't know where to start. So today's episode is going to be all about how do you get started in the coaching business? How do you determine your niche? So, if that speaks to you, stick around because we're going to talk about what I have seen as five big mistakes that people are making and the advice that I gave to this listener about what some steps were that she could do to get started on her journey into this amazing world of helping people grow, change their lives, learn so many new skills, potentially live to their highest potential through the vehicle that is our coaching businesses. Welcome to the Next Level Sales Podcast, the podcast where sales, spirituality, and business come together so that you build your dream business, accomplish big goals, and make the world a better place, one conversation and one client at a time. I'm your host, Jessie Quinby Hearns, and after 20 years of having thousands of sales conversations and coaching hundreds of business professionals to multi-six-figure incomes, I am a firm believer that if you identify with being a kind-hearted individual who has big goals for yourself, yet you don't identify with being a salesperson, it is absolutely possible for you to build that thriving high-ticket coaching business while still being completely in alignment with your values and your authenticity. It is absolutely possible to bridge the gap between selling and creating your joyful, abundant dream life. So I'm here to inspire you, motivate you, and share stories to show you how all this is possible. It is a wonderful journey, my friend, and I am so glad to have you here with me. With that, let's get to today's episode. So I talk to a lot of online coaches day in, day out, because I help people with their lead generation, sales processes. I really help people build the foundation of their business that brings people into their world and helps them convert them into new clients, right? So I talk to people every single day who are really intrigued by this business, really want to take that leap of faith and start their own coaching business as well. Now, I've been at this for quite a number of years now. My journey started when I was actually still in the corporate world and making that transition out of the corporate world into practicing what I do now. That's what I did in the corporate world. So I took that experience to teach to others, small business owners who may not have had the benefit of ever learning marketing, learning lead generation, learning how to build funnels, learning how to have really connected sales conversations, right? So I had years of experience that I knew could translate pretty easily into something that I could teach to other people. I did it successfully in the corporate world. I knew that I could take the same skills and teach people who didn't have the benefit of knowing these things and help them as well, help them grow their businesses, help them change their lives. But there's a lot of people out there who are just getting started and they don't really know where to start. What are those first steps? What do they do? How do they find their niche? What are those first tentative steps to get the ball rolling, the momentum building on the direction that feels right to them to build a flourishing coaching business? So, this is the question that I got from someone the other day. And I thought it was a really great question. I think a lot of people do kind of sit there and wonder, where do I go? Right? I like this idea. I'm inspired in this direction. Where do I go? So, I wanted to take some time today to talk about that. Now, because I've been at this for quite a number of years, I will tell you that I see five big mistakes that people make. So I want to start with those. And then I'm going to share the advice that I gave to this particular listener so that maybe it will inspire you to take those first tentative steps or maybe reevaluate where you currently are and give you a direction that might Pick the speed up from where you are and feel like you have some momentum and some direction that feels good to you to build your confidence about the direction you're going in building this coaching business. Okay. So let's start with those 5 mistakes that I commonly see people make as they are getting started. So, number one is I need a niche that's going to help people make money, right? In their mind, this is a total win. They're thinking, piece of cake. If I have a niche where I can help people make money, it's going to be a no brainer to sell this thing. It's going to be a no brainer to find new clients. Well, there is something about helping people make money that is attractive, right? It's appealing. But is it easy to sell, to market? I would question that a little bit because, look, helping people make money is a great niche, yes, but there are people who are searching for so many other things in their life, right? Making money is not the end game for a lot of people. Making money, it's really just a complement to living a full life, right? So if you have a lot of money, it doesn't help you get well, it doesn't help you solve your relationship issues, it doesn't help you have a fulfilling career, right? Money is kind of just a complement to all the other actually really important things to your in your life. So making the end goal of dialing in a niche because it helps people make money is kind of the wrong focus. I will tell you that you're going to need a process, regardless of what niche you pick, that will help bring leads into you, that will help you convert those clients. You're going to need to build the skills and put systems into place that will help support that process, regardless of what niche you need. But I'll tell you that if someone is struggling with their health and maybe they need like either a fitness coach or a nutrition coach, because that will make them feel better, live better day in and day out. That's way more valuable to that individual than having more money. If they're not feeling good in their current life, the money doesn't make much difference, right? Or if they keep coming in and out of difficult relationships and that weighs on them. Money is not a thing that's going to make them feel better in this case. They really want to have a good, healthy relationship. So I just want to put it into perspective as you are looking at your niches, dialing in on a niche that helps make someone money is not the thing. Okay. So don't make that part of your checklist. There's other things that you want to consider that I'll talk about in just a minute that are really more important to you than that focus of helping clients make money. There's other ways to look at being a true, huge benefit to your ideal clients as you figure out what your niche is. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is people will start looking at the coaching world and who's successful and what seems to be really blowing up as far as a successful niche. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, I got to go do that. Look, there's so many people that are buying into that niche. I got to go in that direction, right? It's like, what are those little creatures? Lemmings, where like everybody starts running in one direction and everybody keeps running in that direction. Lemmings all go in the same direction together, or a big school of fish. Everybody's swimming together, right? That's not the way that you determine what your niche is, right? Don't go follow what everybody else is doing. There's other things that really are key for you to do to figure out what your ideal niche is for you and how you can best serve people out there in the world. Okay. So don't just follow what everybody else is doing. Don't just follow what looks like it's successful for other people. We're going to talk in just a second about how to find what really lights up your heart. Okay, number three, I see people getting tied to a particular idea and holding on to it so tightly that they don't allow their ideas or their niche to evolve, or maybe even let go of that idea altogether. So sometimes people get so tied into a concept or a logo or some sort of a brand thing. They land on an acronym, say. I've seen this happen. So they come up with this cool acronym around a niche, and they're so tied into that that they start to evolve their niche totally around that. Now, that acronym may make a lot of sense to them, but it may not be that meaningful to their clients. And so, this is where we really need to pay attention to what our buyers need from us, not what seems to resonate really with us. Now, I'm not saying that you disconnect yourself from what you're passionate about, where your experience is, but you want to stand in your buyer's shoes and look at your offer, what you're promoting from your buyer's perspective, and see if you can integrate what they need from you into what you're offering. Okay. So don't get so caught up in some sort of concept, some sort of logo, some sort of acronym that limits your opportunity for your ideas, how you serve your clients to evolve. I'll tell you that coaching for me has been absolutely a journey. Becoming an entrepreneur has absolutely been a journey of personal growth of my business, of paying attention to what my clients need and letting my business evolve almost monthly. So, yeah, I am currently on the third iteration of my program because I listen to my clients and I want to incorporate the things that they need that I can help them with, how I can serve them. I want to incorporate that into my program because that allows me to really serve them well, give them tons of value, and teach them the skills and give them the confidence that they're asking for, right? And I'm not going to limit myself by something that I've developed or a name of a program or something like that. I need to be willing to let that go so that I can grow, so that I can best serve the people who need my help. Okay? So that's number 3. Number 4 is similar but a little bit different. Number 4 is about becoming paralyzed at the start line. So this is really common. I think there's this it's tough to step off the start line. And so, I see people who may have notebooks full of ideas, tons of ideas in their computer. So they sit there and their brain keeps churning and churning and churning around what it is that they can do to help people. And they start developing all kinds of ideas under all of these different niches, but they never really then end up moving forward off of the start line for any one of these ideas. They get kind of stuck in that creation phase, in the idea phase. And maybe it's because there's a fear of success, maybe there's a fear of failing, maybe there's a fear of not knowing which step to take, which is why I'm doing this podcast. Maybe there is a fear of, you know, n- who knows, right? There's so many fears out there as an entrepreneur. Like there's that wonderful scene in Indiana Jones movie where he's having to take a step out over this really deep gorge and there's nothing there, right? But when he throws the sand out, the sand falls onto an invisible bridge. That's kind of what we need to do. So the people who feel like they get paralyzed at that start line, this is a mistake that really stops you from growing and building a business at all. And you just get stuck there in the creation phase. So, again, I'm going to give you some suggestions in this podcast that will help you take those first few baby steps. That's all we want to do here. Little baby steps each day, each step of the way. Things that don't feel so scary, things that will help continue your growth and get you going in a direction of actually building that business and starting to serve people, which is really what this is all about, right? Okay. The last, number 5, is not doing some research around your niche. Okay. So maybe you're at that creation phase. One of them feels particularly good to you. Start doing some research, right? Does your niche have a need? Do your ideal clients actually have money to invest in helping themselves make a transformation? Is your niche a growing industry or would it be considered a shrinking industry? Okay. Is there potential for growth? Are there enough people out there who need what you're talking about? On the opposite hand, potentially, is it such a broad niche that people won't understand how you're trying to help them. So, talking to someone who really wants to help parents raise their children. Well, there's so many phases of kids' evolution. And for parents, there's so many phases that you can help them through. So, if you say you want to coach parents raising great kids, raising resilient kids, well, is there a particular phase that you want to help parents through? Are you talking about infants? Are you talking about kids that are in the elementary school age? Are you talking about teenagers? Are you talking about parents helping kids transition from being teenagers into grown adults out on their own? The swath of time that you could talk about in helping parents raise resilient and strong independent kids is huge. So there needs to be a little bit of dialing in a situation like this so that there's clarity for your ideal clients and understanding how you help them, where your specialty lies. So you want to spend some time actually talking to your ideal clients, right? Just going out there and talking to people who might have the need. Ask them questions. What are they looking for? What are they currently struggling with? What would make their life easier? This could be about any niche at all. Just get really curious for the fun of it. Now, if you find this sounds a little intimidating, a little bit out of your league, I'm going to say you want to think a little bit about if this niche really is the right one for you, then, right? If you don't have a depth of curiosity about what these potential clients are struggling with, you might be exploring the wrong niche. Maybe, I'm just saying maybe. It could be that it's a little out of your comfort zone to talk to people this way, but I'm telling you that as someone who talks to a lot of different coaches, who helps people refine their offers, who helps people find leads. It's really important that you have a lot of curiosity, that you have a lot of passion to help the people who are in your niche. Okay. So developing this just really natural curiosity really can help you develop a fantastic course to help people. So it's really just asking questions. You can do research on Google to see what people are searching for help with. You can see what books are out there. You can see what podcasts are out there. You can, as I say, go find people in your actual community who might be struggling with this and ask them questions. Just do some research to ask deeper questions on what these folks are struggling with, how they would like to be served, what would benefit them, what would an ideal outcome look like. This is going to do so much for you in helping you develop a program and feel confident in your niche moving forward, that there is a demand and that people have some income to actually invest in getting a change. Like they're willing to invest in making a change. It's worth it to them, right? They have the disposable income. The value of a program like this is worth it to them, and they would invest to get help in that particular area. Okay. And then, of course, you want to have some real experience. You want to have some real personal experience in helping people in this area. So it would be really tough for me to coach people how to play basketball because I've never played basketball in my life. So it would not do me well to become a basketball coach. Now, I'm also a runner and I love to run. Now, my skills in running are not that great. I'm slow. Yes, I've done marathons. I run a lot, but I don't know still, even with my experience, that I would be the best running coach because I don't know that my skills are quite there to help support people reach the goals that they might have. Does that make sense? Now, I do have years and years and years of marketing, lead generation, sales strategy, offer creation, negotiations, client objections, selling, dealing with many different types of buyer profiles, helping paint the picture of an experience, a product that doesn't exist and selling that to someone, right? Helping people through a long process to get to an end result that they want. This has been my life for 20 years, right? So I have a lot of confidence. I have a lot of experience. I have personally walked so many paths, so many sales conversations, so many lead funnels, so many marketing efforts, some that have worked, some that have not worked, right? I have lived and breathed all of this for so many years. I have so many stories around all of this world that it was just a natural evolution for me to take my skills from all of those years in the corporate world and ultimately move that into my coaching business, right? And help support people as I do now with these practices, helping their businesses grow from the skills that I have practiced so long myself. So you want to look at your life the same way. Where do you have this depth of experience, this passion, this conviction of really helping to transform people's lives because you have that experience, you have that confidence that you know that you can help support people along that path. You can make their life easier. You can give them confidence. You can help them avoid mistakes. This is essentially condensing time for them so that maybe like I made a lot of mistakes since I have been doing the lead generation marketing sales, all of this sales strategy for so long. I certainly have made plenty of mistakes. I had no skills in any of this when I started, right? So my path was really windy. There were some times where I took 3 steps forward and 4 steps backwards, right? But as an experienced person, I can help people avoid that. You can do the same when you have the experience, when you have the confidence, when you've walked that path yourselves and you can lead someone else to an end goal with more ease, more confidence, less tripping and mistakes and bumps and bruises along the way, right? That's what people would like to avoid if at all possible. So, those are the 5 big mistakes that I see people making when they go about starting their businesses, trying to develop their niche and dialing in on really how they want to serve people. So, in the question from this listener on how do I get started? What steps can I take just to get off that starting line? These are the recommendations that I made. Okay, so number one, what experience do you have that just lights you up, that makes your heart happy when you help people? The time just flies by. The goal here is that you're going to be working with this group of people, this niche within this industry for many, many years to come. So it's important that it's something that you really love, that you find great fulfillment in, and that you feel like you can really make a difference in helping people with. So I would encourage you to just really find a quiet time, maybe get a notebook, pull out your computer, and start brainstorming these ideas where you have experience. What lights you up? Most people have multiple areas in their life that they do feel passionate about, that they have experience in, that they really feel like they want to help people, like it's within their heart and soul. Like, this is really how I want to help people, right? So, write those down. Just start brainstorming and write those down. Create a list for yourself on things that you really feel passionate about, that you feel like you can help people with. Okay. That you have that experience where you have actually walked the path and you feel like you could lead other people to success as you experience changes and growth and success yourself on that journey. Okay, number two, now you have this list of things where you have experience that you have passion around that you can help people with. Okay, which of these have audiences that really need help in that? And do they have the money to pay for it? This is really important if you want to move into an area where you actually can find people that can pay for your services, okay? It's not a business unless there's actually demand for it and people find value enough to pay for it. Now, this weird example just came to mind, maybe a little bit different than, a coaching business. But I know, for example, around the world, there's a lot of countries where insects are a delicacy and people will spend money buying insects to eat. Now, if you're in the US and you went to your local farmer's market and there was a booth that was selling insects to eat as a snack, it might be a little odd for us as Americans to find this delicacy really appealing to us. I mean, you might get some people who are interested to try it out, but is there going to be a huge demand? If you've got an insect selling booth next to a place that's cooking funnel cakes or pizza, my guess is that the funnel cakes and the pizza are going to sell a little bit better than the insect booth. Okay. So this is just kind of a wild example, but things are different in different niches. So you want to have a niche where there's actually value and people will pay for the transformation that you're going to be offering. So something else you want to think about is whether you feel like the industry is a growing industry or if it's a declining industry. Now, there's a lot of examples of this in the technology area. So funny enough, I've heard like for a long time, the flip phones were declining in popularity because everybody was moving over to smartphones, right? So there was a declining industry going on with the old flip phones, right? Not many people were buying them and everybody was moving over to the smartphones. Now it's funny because I think there's kind of a trend of people are tired of having all of this data and people accessing them all the time and all of this technology. So I think there is kind of this interesting trend of people going back to flip phones, but you can see this with technology everywhere, right? So it used to be that people had the old iPods and separate devices to listen to music, but now you can have everything on your phone. You see that with things like e-readers. Maybe people don't use e-readers as much because now everything can be on your phone. So you want to look at whatever industry you are looking to serve and see if it looks like it's a growing industry or if it might be a declining industry. And this can be done simply by doing some research on Google, looking at trends and things like that. Just another thing to think about. The world is a big place. The good news is with online coaching, we can serve the world if we wish to reach across all time zones. So there's going to be a lot of people that you can reach out to. There's not going to be a limit of people out there that you can help serve. You just want to know if there's actually a demand for what you want to coach. Okay, number 3 really hinges off what you've done in step 1, where you wrote down all of those areas where you feel like you have some experience and some expertise. And what I want you to do with this is start developing some details under each of those. So if you have experience, okay, I'm going to take me and my running. Okay. So I have run marathons. If I wanted to become a marathon coach, I would start thinking about my journey of running marathons. Okay. So I understand about the fear of getting out there, getting started, how it feels overwhelming to tackle such a huge goal. I understand what it takes as far as building a training program and what a training program should look like, what it should include, what kind of gear, equipment, nutrition, how to potentially add in other elements of training like hill work or speed work to make it for a stronger runner. I understand about training in different temperatures. Like these are all sorts of things that I could help someone understand as someone who would be training for a long distance run. I understand about the mental strain it can take on you, the mind games, like when you're in the long miles and you feel like quitting. So, those training runs are exhausting. And how do you make it through that? So all of these are components that if I wanted to train someone how to run marathons, I could incorporate this into my program. So I want you to do the same sort of thing with all of those areas of expertise that you have, where you have the passion, where you might want to try and help someone, but start developing underneath each one of those your own experience and how it is that you could help people. And maybe you already have helped people. Maybe you've already given that advice. So start detailing everything underneath each of those topics so that it kind of helps flush out your experience on a deeper level. I hope this makes some sense. It doesn't need to be perfect. I just want you to get your brain thinking about the depth of your experience under each of those topics and how confident you feel you could be at coaching others with your experience. This is just a really great place to start flushing things out. And then number 4 goes back to what I talked about last on those 5 mistakes is the research piece. As you start looking at these topics where you have experience and you start doing these exercises, I believe 1 or 2 of these will probably start to bubble up to the surface. One you're going to really feel like touches your heart the most, starts to make the most sense for how you can help people. Maybe you see that there's really a need, that there's an audience that really values the transformation. They have the potential to invest with someone to get the help. Now it's time to start narrowing a little bit and evolving which 1 or 2 you want to hone in on and start doing some research. This is where you want to get on Google, start talking to people, really flush out more what it would look like to help this group. Talk to them. See if what your thoughts are make sense. Now I'm going to guide you. It's easy to go talk to family and friends, right? But will family and friends give you the truth? Now I'm going to tell you that family and friends like to keep us happy. So I'm going to advise you not to talk to your family and friends about this, okay? So if you want to coach on how to raise children, don't go talk to your sister who's just had 3 kids. You're not going to get unfiltered, real, true feedback from them. They want to make you happy. So they're going to not give you the truth of the situation that someone that you don't know might share with you, okay? So I want you to push yourself. Again, the journey of becoming an online coach, the journey of being an entrepreneur may take you to areas where you feel uncomfortable. And I want you to embrace this. This is part of your growth, but go start doing research. Talk to people who have children. Maybe get into Facebook groups where those topics are talked about and see what people are struggling with. But talking to real people is invaluable because you can really hear where they're struggling and what they need help with, and even ask them what they would be willing to invest to get a quick solution. How much time would they be willing to invest to get a solution? All of these answers are really helpful to you to starting to create what is the basis of a program that through the years will continue to grow and evolve as you work with more and more and more clients. So I hope this helps. This is really just a quick, let's get you off the start line and start taking some baby steps forward, start building your confidence, start giving you a path, right? Like I like to look at what I do as we're walking along a path at night and I just can help hold the flashlight out there and shine the way a little bit. And the path is going to continue to wind, but I have the benefit of having been a few steps ahead of some of you in building my program a number of times over and evolving it over time. And I have the benefit of a lot of years of doing marketing, lead generation, funnel building, non-pushy sales. I have lots of years of that. I can shine the flashlight a lot further on that path. But with this question on how do I even get off the start line, I thought I would share what I've seen because I do talk to a lot of people who are kind of stuck and they feel frustrated. So I hope this gives you a little insight, a little inspiration. Just get the ball rolling, give you a little bit of momentum to move you forward and start on what is ultimately such a fulfilling career. I like to call it, we create these really positive ripples out there. When I help someone change their business, I not only help them, but they become more confident in their business, in their life, who they are as a person, because I'm giving them skills to deal with all these things that they struggled with with previously, they now know how to do these things with joy and ease, right? So that changes maybe how they interact with their family. They're dealing with their clients differently. When they can serve their clients differently, there's even more ripple out there, right? So this is what we do as coaches. We create this amazing positive ripple effect all across all these people that we're touching all around the world. And it's really an amazing thing when you start to think about it. It just lights up my heart, makes me really happy. I feel like this is what we're here to do in life. We're here to help lift each other up, right? Make this world a better place. Take our special skills and share them with others. And so I hope this helps you take your first few steps. Let me know if you have any questions. You're welcome to reach out to me on Instagram. I'll leave my Instagram link below. I'm always happy to chat with people there. If, as you get started, you are looking for ways to build a lead generation system where you get inbound leads that really resonate with you, what you're talking about, this is my specialty. This is my world. And I do have a mini course that helps share how I help clients and what I see as the 4 really important cogs to your lead sales income generation functions within your business. All businesses need these 4 components working smoothly together to really build a sustainable, thriving business for many, many years. So that's how I help clients. And if you're interested in learning more about that, I'll put the link for the mini course below. So again, thanks so much. I really, truly do appreciate you listening. If you've enjoyed hearing this, we do certainly appreciate it if you give us a 5-star review, share it with your friends, get us out there more into the universe. We really do want to try to help make this world a better, more kind and uplifting place. So with that, I wish you a wonderful day, much success to you in your coaching business. It is just a great place to live life. Thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Now, before you go, if this episode resonated with you, I would absolutely love it if you would follow the podcast and leave a review so that we can reach more entrepreneurs just like you who are eager to start selling and fueling their dream business without feeling all those things around sales. And if you'd like a behind-the-scenes view of my life, hop on over to Instagram.com and follow me at Jessie Q Sales Coaching. Be sure to say hi and let me know you found my podcast. I'd love to hear from you. Have a great week, my friend. I will see you soon.